And I'm here now with Chicago Deputy Mayor Gary Gatewood to talk a little bit more about the safety plan for the planned protest this weekend. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here with us.
Good morning. Thanks.
First of all, I want to start. We're just hearing that CPD has canceled days off for this weekend and any other events. Is that true?
It is. This is a busy weekend. We already had the Puerto Rican Festival coming up this weekend and a slew of other events. And we have to make sure we have the adequate resources for large-scale protests that we're expecting to see.
So how can you make sure that people who are involved in these protests this weekend are indeed safe?
Well, they have to work with us. So this is why we're working with the organizers of the protests, marshals, to make sure they're in communication with us to keep them safe and pull out folks who want to be bad actors so their message is still heard.
Okay, so if there is vandalism this weekend, which we know is something that could happen, how does the city plan to deal with that?
Quickly, with the Department of Streets and Sanitation, they already be on the ground to go ahead and respond, clean up that vandalism, clean up any graffiti, so we can continue to move forward again, because we don't want people's messages to be lost by a handful of bad actors.
Right. So you have a lot of people who are nervous to come downtown, and they're canceling plans for this weekend. Should they be?
No, you shouldn't be nervous to come downtown. We handle large-scale protests all the time in the city of Chicago. You saw it with the DNC. We handle large-scale events all the time. Lollapalooza, Swingers Fest. So you can come downtown. Downtown will be safe. We'll have resources for you and resources to make sure these protests go on without an issue.
Safety is a big concern, but also traffic and people being able to move around and do their normal things about the city. How do you guys plan to manage that? Because that can be quite a nightmare.
Yeah, so this is collaboration with the Department of Transportation, CDOT, and also working with our partners at OEMC to help with traffic mitigation and management. But obviously there will be some delays when you have that large crowds of folks coming down to protest. We'll do our work to make sure people know the routes and we can keep traffic moving as freely as we possibly can.
Right, and heaven forbid, should things get out of control, what is the plan for this?
Well, things won't get out of control, but if they do, we have plans in place, resources and assets from all of our departments. We've been in contact with the governor's office, with our partners in the state, and we will make sure things are in place if things get out of control, but we don't expect that. We expect a peaceful protest, and this is why we're also working with the organizers of these protests to make sure they can help us keep it peaceful.
Okay. All right. We hope so. Thank you so much, Gary Gatewood.